episode 10.
Oh shit, it's the intro.
Of Patch Notes.
For real? Or are you
for real
practicing?
this time. Patch Notes, the Home Games podcast. I'm Joseph. We have Senovia. And JC.
Hi.
And Alex.
Oh.
Today is December 29th, 2019.
Almost New Year's.
What episode is this?
I already said.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Can you say it again? I'm sorry.
Hello and welcome.
No, this is...
Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Patch Notes, the Home Games podcast. I'm Joseph, your host today, because Yazeed's on vacation. We have Alex.
Hello.
JC.
Hi.
And Senovia.
Hello.
Don't laugh.
Alex is shoving candy canes into his mouth with the plastic
Tis the
still
season.
on them.
Shoving my candy cane up my ass for Santa.
Christmas past already.
Could you edit that out? Bro, just clip it.
Today is December 29th.
Oh shit, my tamale pie's on.
Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Patch Notes, the Home Games podcast. I'm your host. Should I do my full name? I feel like saying Joseph.
Jojo.
I'm your host, Joseph, because Yazeed's on vacation this week. And we also have Senovia,
Hi.
JC,
Hello.
and Alex.
Yo.
And today is December 29th, 2019.
Wow.
Did we get it?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yay! We did it.
We did it. Alright, podcast over. See you later.
Bye.
So yeah, this episode is going to be a little different, I guess. We're not going to talk so much about technical specifics of home games, just kind of a bit of a year-end wrap, episode 10 special, post-Christmas, pre-New Year's holiday thing.
We're going to give our top 10 lists for the year.
Top 10 traumas we endured in the decade of 2010.
Oh yeah, it's the end of the
yeah.
decade too.
Yeah.
Flipping a switch.
Yeah, this is the last Sunday, last Energy Sword Sunday, as they call it in certain circles, of the year, of the decade.
What is
actually.
the other Sunday?
I don't want to talk about it.
What's Energy Sword Sunday?
I don't know. All I know is there's Energy Sword Sunday and Fingers in His Ass Sunday. Like
Yeah.
JC knows what I'm talking about.
I know what he's
but we
talking
don't know
about.
what it is.
We
You don't know
made
the
it
origin.
so far.
We were doing really well.
And now I'm starting.
No.
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 Clip that, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways, 2020 coming up.
2020 is
2020 vision.
next week.
Whoa.
What's your 2020 vision look like, JC?
My eyesight's getting a lot worse, actually.
So poor.
But
Do you qualify
I'm
for
gonna
LASIK?
start trying to learn echolocation, so I'm just gonna screech every once in a while.
Oh, you're becoming a bat for the new decade? I can see it. Got no New Year's resolutions?
I want to go to the gym more,
That's a
eat
good
better, you know, the usual stuff.
Yeah.
Going to the gym's not too bad as long as you have a good gym.
I don't
Now,
know.
like LA Fitness, you know.
Damn,
Yeah.
Hope they're not a sponsor, bro, but I'm putting them on blast. Fuck LA Fitness.
It's gonna be really hard to like cancel my membership too.
It is. That's why I hate them. Because I wanted to cancel it, and because they were like a little more expensive, and they didn't have like the stuff I wanted, basically like squat racks. So
There's like
all you can do online, you can't cancel it, but you can freeze it, which just lowers your membership
Right.
cost a month to like $5 or something. And I'm like, I want to leave. I'm like, sorry, you have to come in. And when you call, I'm like, so I came in and I told them I was moving to the United Kingdom. I specifically Googled in my car before I walked in. I'm like, are there LA Fitness in Britain? Because I knew if I said I was going to LA or somewhere where I think they have them, they'd be like, yeah, actually, yeah, you can transfer.
Why not just tell them you don't want to go there anymore?
Because they won't accept
They
that.
won't, yeah.
They'll be like, oh, but have you considered you're just a fat fuck? Quitting fatty? they'll be like that.
Just say yes and move on.
And they'll be like, nah, bro, I got you. I just doubled your membership cost. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I'm thinking about quitting it and going to like
Planet
Choose.
Fitness is better. Or Choose Fitness.
Choose or that Vasa Fitness, but it's on a cursed crossroads.
Yeah, Vasa is on. You know where the Fries used to be at Grant and Alvernon?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like basically the same as like a burial ground, because you know how many people have
What?
died in that.
Those crossroads.
In that Fries.
In that fry.
Dude, they always had a man with a gun posted at front as a guard because people would just, it's real crackhead hours of that anywhere in that intersection.
That
don't go near
stoplight
Grant
itself is insane because people
It's
it'll
cursed.
be a red light and people just like I'm going.
Yeah. And then people just smoking crack in front of the churches or, getting fistfights at the Suntram bus stop right there. It really is the culture.
I was gonna say that's just Tucson culture.
Yeah,
right?
it's next
But
to
and that's the cultural center of Tucson
That's
is Grant and Alvernon.
yeah, and there's like the neighborhood Walmart.
The
And it's like the
Yeah.
parking lot's chaos all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Filiberto's right there is pretty good though.
Fry's is a grocery store that's like mostly in Arizona, by the way, for the listeners.
Kroger.
Yeah, it's called. Is it Kroger in
It's
Seattle?
UFC in Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah, whatever the parent company is of that.
Yeah.
I think it's Kroger.
Yeah, I remember going to one, and my Fries card still worked there.
Yeah. But
Nice.
Fry's is like an electronics store in California, so when people.
Yeah, that's Fry's
Oh, and in
Electronics.
Seattle.
Yeah,
There's one in Phoenix.
Yeah.
there used to be one really close, like on the highway.
Their logo looks like the Fry's grocery store, so it's just.
Yeah,
super
so it's not
weird.
confusing at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, working out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Resolutions.
Resolution.
Hitting the gym, eating better, trying to get better at career stuff,
Mm.
but
What do you mean by that?
just trying to be self-motivated and learn outside of work.
Yeah, it's definitely you really have to like push yourself to actually do extra stuff at work. Like,
When you get home.
yeah, like one of my friends, he actually like studies in the library for like random languages or things that his team wants to use or learn or is using type of stuff, and he's doing pretty well. Like, I think he's like moving up to manager and stuff.
Senovia, what's your
Except for LA Fitness.
2020 resolution?
Kill LA Fitness.
Kind of like what JC was saying, just like making more time for things that I like after work. Like
Yeah.
baking and all that stuff. So, just like feeling motivated that when I come home, I'm gonna have to like actually do something that I want to do and not just like lay on the couch and be lazy.
But that's what I want to do sometimes.
That's true, and that's okay.
I just want to play video games all day.
Yeah.
But then when it's like every day for like 3 months straight, that's not good.
It's hard to find
3
a
years
balance.
straight.
25 years straight.
Because I do that thing where I'm like, oh, self-care. I'm going to spend the weekend in bed. It's like, that's not what self-care is.
If you need that sometimes, though, then yes, that's good. But if it's like, no, I depend on.
If it's like every day
Yeah.
or it's your way to cope, then
Becomes depression.
yeah, then that's just depression.
Yeah.
Walking the fine line between self-care and depression every day.
It's the millennial struggle right there.
What about you?
I don't know. I haven't given it too much thought yet. I guess I would like to spend more time doing things I enjoy. I think over the past year I've been trying to find joy in video games and forcing myself to like something that I used to like. And I don't think I like a lot of video games that I force myself to play. So I think I want to do that less and just focus on valuing my time more. And doing things that I like. Like I like building home games and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not trying to just build home games in my free time, and I'm trying to, I don't know, get new hobbies. Put together this Lego set.
Rock climbing, maybe?
Definitely not outdoorsy stuff. I don't
That's
like it.
indoors.
That's indoors.
Yeah, you do that indoors, bro.
Yeah, but then people see me and I'm trying to not be around anybody. 2020.
So that's your point.
I can respect that.
Yeah. What's yours, Alex?
Me? Well, first definitely get a fucking job, you know. I still have not applied anywhere, but honestly, it's a vibe. Like going from like only think about work for most of the time to not.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about the whole work to live versus live to work
Yeah.
dilemma that everyone has as soon as they hit our age.
Yeah.
They're like college ends and it's like, well, so did your life.
Right, exactly.
So that, but also keep working out. I've been working out a lot for a couple of years
Yeah,
though.
Tell.
Alex
I'm gonna wear a sweater.
wakes up and he's shirtless, and it's like, it's impressive. Like, I look at him
Aw.
different now.
That's so nice.
JC and Alex live together, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I've told Alex before, I miss it when Alex was thicker. Because I was like,
I'm not bringing fat Alex back, dude. He's dead. I killed him.
But now Alex is shredded and buff.
I'm not shredded. I'm obese. I'm thick. I'm a bowl of oatmeal out here.
Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. I also think that our whole like limited swearing thing just has to go out the window, and Alex is here.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good. I was listening to our episode 0 recently, just kind of trying to see if there was any progression, even from October when we started this, and it was fuck every other sentence for me basically in that first one. So, I mean, I've been swearing less. That's nice. Maybe that's my 2020.
Oh, just swear less?
Yeah, swear less. Because then
In general?
Yeah, my coworker was. I remember one time he was like, "Well," because I heard him say the F word, and it had such a weight to it because he never says it.
Fuck.
And then he was like, he even said to me, because I was like, "Well, you never say that," and he's like, "Well, the less you swear, the more impact it has when you do."
Ah, okay.
Because fuck is my like filler word.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know.
Swear.
it's true.
You're a pure boy.
I don't
Pure
mean,
lad.
I don't mean to not swear. It just never like.
You ever heard JC say fuck? It's terrifying.
I really don't think I have.
I've heard it.
I've known JC for 15 years, and I've never heard him say anything beyond the S word.
I heard him say fuck, and my crops died. my animals ran away. Shit was terrifying.
What was it? Yazeed? Let's bring up Yazeed for a second. He was on some tangent about how he really wanted to hear me say a slur. I don't know why. He was just like, he would think it would be so funny if
Come
I
on,
just
JC.
dropped like a hard offensive word. It's like, why?
Have a gamer moment right now, JC. I remember that.
I think he was also like, how much will they have to pay you? And I was like, what do you want? What do you want this?
He wants to hear it. It's his fetish. Don't kink shame him.
Yeah, let's only bring up stories about you doing something insane.
Yeah.
So how about in terms of home games?
Home game stuff. Oh, also, we have the music stuff, so I didn't do the What's Up music. We didn't have a gap for the What's Up music. But maybe I'll put that here or there, whatever. But home game stuff and then home games music will play right here.
Woo!
It's playing right now.
Yeah. Home game stuff. We made T-shirts. I was going to surprise everybody kind of all at once. I didn't know Yazeed was going to be on vacation until after we recorded the previous one.
Did he not tell you?
She didn't tell me until after I
What
was...
a fool.
Yeah, yeah. I was kind of planning all this stuff. I should have assumed though, because they go on vacation like every year.
They do.
Because they don't celebrate.
They don't celebrate Christmas.
They go on a cruise or something? Oh no, they go out of country too.
Yeah, they go on like vacation.
They do it up.
1% ass. Fuck you, Yazeed. Or frick you, Yazeed, listening from Japan or wherever you are right now.
Do you guys know where he is? He told me, but I didn't listen.
I don't know. Last place he went was...
He's in
What's it
South
called?
America, I
They
thought.
went to
I forgot it. Singapore?
Indonesia.
Yeah.
And Singapore.
Indonesia and Singapore.
Yeah, so I think they're on like a cruise to South America. I
Yeah.
want to say. I could
South
be-
America? Whoa.
I could be entirely wrong. He could be in like...
So you guys are his best friends, and now he's just out in the world somewhere.
He's
no
with his
one knows where
family.
he
Hey,
is.
we don't like the people like Senovia and my mom are shocked by the fact that I don't know anything about JC or Alex.
I forget birthdays.
I think that's pretty normal to be shocked by that. Well, like I think we grew up not realizing it was weird, but then
Yeah.
once you see other people with functioning families, you're like,
Oh.
Well, you're just like,
wait a
what
minute.
What are your friends into? What do you get them for Christmas? It's like, oh, they love this. They said this one time, so I remember this, and they're way into this kind of art or this kind of music. It's like, what is Alex into? Sonic the Hedgehog every fucking year.
Literally everyone gets me that shit. Like, I don't know how that meme has spread so far. like people that I have no idea how you know that. Like Joseph has gotten me like 50 Sonic T-shirts for the past 25 years. Like, but it'll be like I think my old roommate Jimmy went to Seattle once, and he's like, he came back and he said, "Oh, I got you a gift," and it was just a pair of Sonic socks. It was like,
That's your
I
thing.
never told you this.
You centered your whole identity around
Did
Sonic.
he not
No, I didn't.
see you play Sonic Adventure Battle 2 at
That-
some point?
That's like all I talked. Well, not all I talked about, but all the Sonic related thing I talked about was just like Sonic Adventure 2.
He probably had the passion in your voice when you were
It's a
talking
good game, dude.
about it.
Why don't they bring the Chow Garden back?
I would play a game that's just a Chow Garden.
You guys ever play that?
You made me play it.
Oh yeah.
That's what it means. You don't like anything except Sonic the fucking Hedgehog.
Well, I
He
like
likes-
Monster Hunter.
He likes many video games.
Oh, that's a good game though. I didn't know like. I thought you made a Chow evil by abusing them with like, because you can make a Chow evil or like a thing you raise in the mini game. You can either make it hero side or dark side, and the way you do that is by you raise it with a good character or an evil character, right? But when I was a kid, I was like, how do I make this evil? So I just picked Sonic and I just started abusing it. I just started hitting it. I'm like,
He would probably throw it at stuff.
and it kind of works.
That's smart.
Like they do go towards the dark side, and then they die though.
Oh,
So you know, that's
They
where
die.
that's where I learned abuse was bad.
yeah.
Was that that game teaches you a lot. I was only 8, but
You have to be Shadow to make them evil or
yeah,
whatever?
you have to be Shadow, Eggman, or Rojui the Bat.
Rouge.
Edit that out. I didn't mean to say it like Jewy.
Happy holidays.
Oh yeah, anyway, home game stuff. That's the section. So talking about t-shirts. I made t-shirts as a very small batch for friends and family. I made a batch of 30. And I've
Ooh.
got like 4 left. So I guess I know 26 people.
Showed it up for the microphone so everyone can see.
Someone said we should do a video podcast. And that's tough because most episodes are just me and Yazeed sitting in our bedrooms separately. So it would just be recording a Discord window.
Maybe it has to be a special.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, especially if you have like a mood room, you know, with a nice vibe.
There's no vibes in my room. It's just a bunch of garbage.
Oh, not necessarily your room. I mean, like any type of room, like you set up for the purpose
What
of
if you rented
looking
out
nice
a
on a
place
podcast.
for a really special day?
Yeah.
Like,
You mean put effort into the podcast?
Yes.
Whoa.
Not just roll out of
seems
bed?
Like you have fun with it, so you could make a fun day of it.
Yeah. It is fun. I
Make
do like.
everyone dress up.
Yeah. I was gonna kind of enforce everybody wears their home games T-shirt, but I'm not wearing mine, so really.
It's a little dictatorship, Mr. Right over
It sets
here.
a vibe. Also, I have this Lego architecture setup thing kind of in the middle of the table, and I'm inspired
That's
by
New York right there.
It is New York. It was a thing I read on Twitter where some guy was saying a story that he heard from someone in the music industry or whatever. And Rick Ross, when he signed this artist, Fat Trell, to the record label MMG, when he first did the meeting and invited him over to like sign all the contracts or whatever, Rick Ross ordered a bunch of steaks, like very, very expensive steaks, and brought them out into the room. And then he told Fat Trell, these are not for eating, these are just for ambiance. One day I'll get to that kind of...
Dude, I like the ambiance of that, though.
yeah, but this is setting ambiance in the room, in the recording room.
Lego New York.
Lego New York.
That really be the Empire State Building.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. It took like 4 hours to put that together. Senovia got it from for Christmas.
4 hours? Damn.
It's 600 pieces for that little thing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
But there's a
pieces.
lot in the Empire State Building.
Yeah. It was cool though.
I can't name any of those other buildings.
There's a
Rockefeller.
Chrysler building. There's Statue of Liberty on the other side. There's a whole little book in the thing. It's actually a really nice glossy printed book about the different buildings and the kind of general architecture of New York and all that kind of stuff. It's super cool.
You ever been to New York City?
I was there for 2 days a few years ago. That's when I met Kid Cudi.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably one of the best moments of my life.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I
Meet
really
your
love-
idol.
Yeah.
Your eyeball.
I don't know if I really love New York or if I love the memory because it was such a special thing. But I really did like being in New York. I stayed in Brooklyn and I visited Manhattan for a day. It was cool.
Yeah, New York is tight. Although it's a little psychotic that the drinking time is like The bars don't close till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or they don't even close. They just stop serving alcohol.
Yeah.
And then they can reserve at like 7 a.m. or something. So people just, haha, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
But yeah, New York is such a fun city to
Yeah, it
get
is.
blasted or be wholesome in.
Yeah.
Either one.
One of my big regrets over the past decade, just kind of reflecting on the past decade, when I met Kid Cudi, kind of became friends with someone there. His name, I forget. I think his name was Ben. Anyway.
A good friend.
Anyway, I met him, and we were just kind of chilling, and I had a signed poster from the whole meet and greet with Kid Cudi, and we were at these bars and whatever, but he had to leave, and so me being like in a mood, just kept going to different bars around Dumbo in Brooklyn, and then just drinking by myself. And I lost the poster at a diner, or I forgot the poster at a diner.
Oh no.
There's a signed poster, whatever. I mean, like, at the end of the day, I met Kid Cudi and got pictures, and we've met him multiple times. We met him in San Francisco too at a meet and greet there. Me and Senovia met him.
Ooh.
Anyway, Kid Cudi.
That's nice. Now you always have something nice associated with New York now.
Yeah.
Whenever you go there.
I saw a big ass rat in the middle of the street.
Dude, they run the train station.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a conductor, bro.
They're teaching turtles martial arts down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, TMNT is not fiction. That is just straight up real shit.
But yeah, I'd like to go back. I really enjoyed it there. Home game stuff is what we were talking about.
Were we?
So we should do like
Were
the accomplishments, the highs and lows, or whatever of 2019
Mm-hmm.
for our home games, and then we should go into what we want 2020, or at least the future
Sure.
to be like. So, what was your high point and low point in terms of home games this year? Oh my god! Are you okay?
You're right.
I'm fine.
This man just broke his neck.
Okay. High point, I would say, I think it was last Christmas, because I think I mentioned it on a previous episode, but the old version, the last year version of home games was a pixel-based thing, so the entire grid it was sending over was each individual pixel to RGBA values, and was super slow as a result. It's still super slow, but it's way better. And I think last Christmas when I was here, we're recording this at my mom's house, so this is like where I've done the most work on home games actually. I was in the couch in the other room, and I kind of just figured out how to do the new rendering stuff. And when I saw how much faster it was at the end of that, and then realized that the whole tree structure, rendering, broadcasting over a WebSocket into a web browser, clicking, all that kind of stuff worked as an initial proof of concept, was probably the coolest moment I've had for home games. Because then immediately after is when I started showing it to Yazeed to see if he would be interested in working on anything with me. And it's funny because I was just looking through the commit history, and it was actually January 5th or January 6th of this year when Yazeed had his first commit. So I think seeing someone else commit code to this thing that I was just working on was another really cool feeling. And then starting the podcast was a great feeling, just kind of having it be more official in that way, and kind of forcing us to think about this in a more realistic, like we have to do something way, and not just a side project that we worked on whenever we felt like. Yeah, I guess those are the high points.
I would say this is weird, but like, there was one day in the apartment where I woke up and you were in the office recording this, and I just only heard you like laughing because I can't hear anything, and you were in there for like a solid like 3 hours or something.
Yeah.
And then when you came out, you were like, that was the one that all of you guys jumped on, but at like different times.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, it's nice that you got to like, everyone is getting involved in this thing. And
Yeah.
everyone can contribute whatever they want. And
Yeah. I think that's my favorite part. I mean, like right now, it's all you guys in this living room, and we're recording this just because we wanted to, because of this whole thing that we're doing, and getting, Yazeed in it too, and then Tynan doing the music, and another big moment I think was when I got the design back, the one so Senovia's initial sketch of the couch and all that kind of stuff. When I sent that off to the contractor girl on Fiverr, she got me back the official looking version in a couple days after that, and seeing a real logo of something that we made was a crazy feeling. It's like, okay, this is very real now. I think there was a lot of high points because most progress that we've made on the project as a whole was done this year. Prior to this was just really proofs of concept, just kind of throwing out ideas that didn't really work out so well. What about you? Any other high points that you can think of, Senovia?
I don't know. It was just nice that everyone just seemed like motivated to like do something with this, and so like every week it was just like, oh, I'm gonna work on this, oh, I'm gonna do this, or whatever. So that was definitely a high point. I would say like the only low point for me is that I don't really have a lot of involvement in it, which is fine. I mean, it's like very much code based and whatever, and I don't know anything about that. And I know like in the future, so that's like a 2020 goal or whatever, is that I'll be doing more like design elements or like taking over the social media accounts or whatever.
I just gave you the password for that this past week, so you can actually, someone other than me will be tweeting.
Catch me on Twitter at Home Games something. What's our thing?
Great start.
Whatever that thing is.
Home Games
I think Home Games is taken and they have no tweets.
Oh, that
frustrates me. No, Home Games IO.
Drake shouted us out.
Oh yeah, he said in his new song War that came out the day I announced this all on Facebook. He said something like, y'all don't even win home games. So hearing the term home games come out of someone's mouth
Dang.
was kind of funny.
It's because we ain't even 18 yet. Oh, sorry.
No, you gotta. It's fine to blast Drake. He's a public figure.
He's our only sponsor. Why would you do that?
Well, because we have to teach our sponsors to quit going after. Never mind.
But no, I sent a text to Senovia because that was funny. I announced this all on Christmas Eve. By that I mean I just posted a link on Facebook and kind of just told everybody that we're doing this.
On your personal account.
Yeah, we don't have a Home Games Facebook. My personal account just tweeted it out, and a couple hours later, I saw the video for that new Drake song, and then just hearing the thing Home Games out of Drake's mouth was like a really weird feeling after just that whole thing.
Thanks, Busy.
Yeah.
Stay away from my daughter.
JC and Alex, do you have anything for high points that you think for what we've been doing this year?
I mean, just getting to be part of this is really nice.
Yeah.
I really just want to be better at what I'm doing, and it's hard to find the motivation to do so, and I think this is a good way.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to get into contact with Yazeed because, like, my inexperience is so much so that I don't know where I'd even begin.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just want to see him do stuff for a little while.
Yeah.
But we haven't had a chance. He's been busy or with work, and we haven't been able to schedule a time where I can just watch him.
Yeah.
And I'd watch you too. I don't know when you're free, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm always on Discord or whatever every weekend, so always that kind of thing. I think that was something that me and Yazeed mentioned either in the previous episode or the one before, but about basically the value of documentation and how Yazeed was trying to do that blog. I'm just kind of talking about the actual things that he changed and why, kind of starting from pulling master or whatever on GitHub, but then even down to how do I pull master on GitHub, and then that was kind of the thing of where is someone supposed to start? Is my goal to get someone who's never touched a keyboard in their life, or someone who has been writing code professionally for years? And that's like a question for us. But yeah,
I think you start inside out. Like you make it make sense for people who know like code, JavaScript bullshit and stuff.
JavaScript bullshit.
Yeah, that's all I could think of when I was like looking at when I was trying to figure out how to put in that voice thing. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Why is it just freezing? Where's the node log?
Yeah.
But yeah, you make it make sense for those people, and then you can inch it out like, oh, people who like you can then like Senovia can understand from looking at it because she knows the concept and everything, and then farther out to people who like no idea what the hell's going on
my
here.
mom who doesn't know how to use a computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think that's the strat.
Yeah, I totally got your frustration with the whole recording audio thing, because I think that's actually probably a difficult thing to understand for people when they first start. Is okay. Well, this whole project's in JavaScript. If I clone from GitHub, everything is JS. but there's very clear differences between what you can do on the server and what you can do on the client. But when it's the same language and you're trying to learn both, and you're trying to access browser APIs from the server, it's easy to get frustrated.
Yeah, I couldn't tell where that separation existed in the code.
Yeah.
I was literally just trying to post that, like, ask for microphone access everywhere I could, just to make it pop up. I was praying for a pop-up, and I never got it.
Yeah, so I think that would be a thing, I guess, kind of going into 2020 goals, is that I would like to first just improve everything across the board, performance and feature set and all that kind of stuff in home games at its core, but I would also like to get better at informing people of it, because I speak in a way that I think is very non-technical. I intentionally don't say tech words because I don't know a lot of them, but at the same time I speak about technical things, and so I don't think I know how to convey information in a good way to like someone who can just understand what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's kind of its own skill you have to learn.
Yeah.
It doesn't come innately with just knowing the tech.
I think yeah, because people will ask me, because I announced it on Facebook, and it's like, okay, well, people generally know the name now, and I'm wearing a T-shirt that says the thing with the logo and all that, and then someone's like, what's home games? And I like don't know what to say, because I'm trying to think of, well, what would you, the individual I'm talking to, want? What's the best way to tell you? And I either come across, anyway, I just don't know how to talk about things, I guess, is my thing for 2020. I want to get better at that. That's why I'm giving Senovia the Twitter, because I don't know how to advertise or promote anything. Yeah.
Any other like things you want to accomplish in the new year or in the future? I would think doing at least just one recorded like video thing, that would be fun. Like our 25th episode or whatever.
Yeah, I think, well, we're not all in the same room often, so I'm also just odd. Like, I guess I don't have a plan for where we would distribute that video podcast, because currently
On Twitter.
YouTube.
But the current
Get
current
demonetized.
workflow is like, we record audio, I edit audio, and I put it into this third-party service that essentially will then publish via an RSS feed to Apple and Spotify and whatever else. So I don't have to do that work.
Well, this would be separate, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this would you would have to just like do it live basically, and then just rip the audio from that, right?
Well, so over Christmas, one of my family members was telling me that they would be interested in listening to this on YouTube, because that's where they stream most of their media and stuff, and they don't really use Spotify or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So as an experiment, I tried to do episode 0 on YouTube by just ripping audio and adding the logo as the video for the hour, however long it is.
Yeah.
But the actual just processing time of that video in
It'd be a long time.
iMovie that I was making it in, it was over an hour just to process. So
Yeah.
if you think about the time it adds, because I already do this in my free time, and it kind of takes a lot of time already.
Can you do that in the background though? Like the process, just like, all right, it's processing. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
light up some keef.
Yeah, I could. It's just doubling my workflow essentially. I would publish the audio and do all the podcast description and all that kind of stuff in Buzzsprout to what we currently use today, and then I would have to go and, there's very light editing there, but I would have to overlay the image over the audio and combine these two things in iMovie or whatever I'm using, and then do that processing and then upload to YouTube separately. It's just,
You get someone else to do it then.
yeah.
You can make one of us if we have the audio thing. That sounds pretty easy to do.
I just think I don't know. I think I have trouble giving tasks like that to people because I can't incentivize them to do anything. It's basically just asking for favors. It's like I can't hire anybody.
You know,
You're friends.
you don't need to incentivize it.
Yeah, but you're my friends. I'm not trying to make you work. Except we're working right now by doing this. Anyway, you know what I mean? I have trouble, I guess, giving out tasks and stuff like that. But yeah,
2020 goal.
yeah, maybe.
Crack the whip.
Yeah, I have trouble working with people.
I don't like people.
You know what we should do? We should do like a mukbang.
A what?
Oh my
Where
god.
you eat on live stream.
Yeah, it's where you just get a shit ton of food from somewhere, be like, haha, KFC mukbang, I got one of everything on the menu, and then you just have it all on the table.
But it's not like ASMR where like you're like right next
It can
to
be.
the mic.
It
It
can
can be, yeah. But mostly like just people talking about
Yeah.
whatever and eating
like
at the
holding
same
up
time.
a
And you're
piece
just
of-
watching them talk and eat.
Like a crab leg and then doing this with it. And then like
Yeah.
We got these Cheez-Its and a tamale pie. I mean, we can kind of do
It is
this right
kinda
now.
like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
But it's a weird feeling having $50 worth of Taco Bell just in front of you. Like, it looks like it'll never end.
that's a Friday night. For
Both
me.
all the food and like endless diarrhea, just like
I don't think I've
Ass
ever
blast.
seen $50 in Taco Bell.
yeah, right. You can't imagine it. It's like how much is that? That could feed a nation. And then they'd be hungry again when they just fucking rearranges their guts. You know. I don't know if I'm using that term right now.
Not right.
I also don't think I mentioned Lowe's for this year.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
Home Depot?
but we can be.
Oh.
Well, no, I mean, I'm thinking,
What is a Lowe's?
yeah, like Home Depot. No, I don't know any Lowe's. I don't think, because I've had moments of frustration because something doesn't work right, or something's not fast enough, or something's whatever. But I don't think any of it was Lowe's necessarily, because it's always fun, even when it's frustrating.
Even that time you got into a fist fight with Yazeed.
Yeah. Disagreement. He wanted to do it all in Ruby. I said no.
And he threw the first punch.
Yeah. No, that didn't happen.
And will,
Listen to
though.
what
Should've.
Yazeed said.
Oh fuck! Yeah. So Yazeed sent he recorded like a 10-15 minute thing for us to put into this podcast. None of us have listened to it yet. I don't know what it is, so we'll probably
It's
cut.
just him cursing at us.
Yeah, we'll
It's gonna
probably
say
cut
more.
here and then play his audio. We'll listen to it and won't record that part, and then kind of respond to it afterwards. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds like Blue's Clues.
Hey, sorry I missed the big 1-0, and I don't mean episode 2. But kind of like what Joseph and I talked about, I think at the end of the last podcast, I'm going to be out of town for a bit. So I'm recording kind of like a solo piece that'll hopefully fit in somewhere. God, it's a lot harder to just do this on your own, to just monologue for a bit. But hopefully this fits in. I don't really know like what episode 10 is going to be like, because I mean I'm not going to be there. So I'm just kind of like hope that this fits. Like for my piece on Square, I don't have any direct updates on Square. But in my branch for Square, I did add Mocha, which is a node testing framework. I use it at work, which I'm like pretty comfortable with it, and I really like it. Kind of the cons of using it is when I went to install it, I realized that the node modules folder like grew so much. I think it's close to like 10 megs right now, which is pretty significant compared to what it was. And honestly, like, I kind of dislike having to leverage a framework like this. I feel like if I had more time, I would have liked to just write a really simple one using Node's assert library and just like assert things are true or false. But I think we've talked about this before, but using like a package like in this case, it speeds things up pretty significantly. Like I was able to get this done like a night to like add in the testing and stuff, which is nice. So that is like one of the pros of using it. And the downside is just how heavy it is. And I don't know how much of it we're even going to end up using. Like I used it just for the colors.js because that's what we talked about last week. And went pretty smoothly. But I mean, it's not like it's hard to test values in an array. For the pros, testing is always nice, and it also showed me just how mangled I wrote the colors code, and like just having that made me realize like, oh, I'm doing this wrong. Like the way I'm trying to filter down this array is completely incorrect. And I fixed it. So, and those tests pass now, which is nice. Yeah. And then the other thing I added in my branch is if you run npm tests now in that branch, it runs the Mocha tests. So anything I think in the test folder, it'll run, which is nice. It's kind of how we have it set up at work as well. Let's see. Jesus, I'm just blazing through this. For the blog section, I haven't really looked into it yet. It's still something that I would like to do. Just to kind of like write down some of this stuff to kind of go along with the podcast. And also the way I've been doing it is just as I commit into my Square branch, I've been kind of jotting down why I'm writing in that file. So for example, in the package.json file, when I'm adding a dev dependency for Mocha, I just note that down like, hey, I'm adding Mocha. And then I also note like, hey, like running npm tests now runs Mocha. Like that kind of simple stuff. Kind of like to talk about what Joseph and I had talked about last week again, because that's what I feel like I should do. We said that it's kind of hard to like, you can't control F through a podcast. Somebody's got to sit and listen to the whole thing. And I joked about like listening to it twice and then taking notes on it, but that's like 6 hours, 2 hours to do the podcast, and then I listen to the pre-released version, and then I listen to the released version usually a week, which is a lot when typically I'll listen to like maybe like before this I don't really listen to that like I don't listen to that many podcasts. Like I'll listen to like 2 hours worth of podcasts in a usual week aside from this one. So yeah, I don't know. And plus like taking notes and stuff like that, it becomes like a dedicated thing. So I'm hoping maybe if we started like a blog, we could do it. And I kind of like the breakdown on commits because it's sort of like a git blame where you can see the changes I made in the eventual PR, because you can go through the commit log per commit, and also kind of get my reasoning for doing it. I mean, it's not super thought out. It's not like paragraphs and paragraphs. It's more like a short blurb in each file, like why I touched this file, came back to it in the second commit. In the colors test, for example, when I was writing that, I had to go back into the colors.js file and change some stuff. And I kind of noted that down as well. So I like the idea of a blog. I'm not hondo on if Joseph is sold at it, on it, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any other updates on home games itself. I did have a couple of questions. They're not rapid fire. They're just kind of questions. Because I'm traveling. What's your favorite travel story? Thank you. And I am curious. I'm assuming Joseph and Senovia are going to do this podcast together. So I'm kind of curious as to like where their engagement trip ranks. And I think it was Disney. I'm hoping that's right, because if not, I'm just going to look like an idiot. But I'm pulling that straight from memory. The next thing is your favorite Christmas present that you ever got. And then the last question is like I've never celebrated Christmas before. So I am kind of curious like what makes Christmas fun, because from the outside looking in, it seems okay. Like a lot of effort. Like you had to decorate and lie that Santa Claus is coming. Sorry, spoilers. But I don't know. Seems okay. I'm just kind of curious what their favorite parts are, I guess. But anyway, sorry this is kind of rambly. I'm not good at monologuing, but thanks for listening. both the listeners and Joseph and possibly Senovia and whoever else has to sit through this. I appreciate it. And assuming I don't die on this trip, which I normally don't, I'll see you guys all next year. Bye-bye.
All right, I hit record again. We just listened to what Yazeed said. Hopefully, I edited it together correctly, and the
Good
listeners.
job, Joseph. That was
Wait,
clean transition.
Did you see how well I faded out that whole thing? And
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, great. So I took notes of what he said. We can kind of just go through them.
Nice job taking notes.
Does Yazeed normally not talk to himself in his head? Is that's what it sounded like in the beginning? 'Cause personally, I feel like I'm the girl in an indie movie. The way I'm talking to myself all the time.
Are you saying he could have done better in talking to himself?
No, I'm just because he said that in the beginning, so I was like, wait, is he normally quiet?
I don't know. I think I would also not know where to start. Anyway, he did great. He did great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, great. I have notes, but do that later.
Okay, so he mentioned Mocha and testing and all that kind of stuff. I think we need unit testing in general. I also don't know how to incorporate it into our package.json. I'm fairly certain there's a dev dependencies property, so you don't actually bundle in Mocha and all of its dependencies when you are doing something that is not for a consumer, like a regular customer user or whatever. So you'd probably have to incorporate that into our whatever automated workflow we use, if it's Jenkins or GitHub, whatever things they have. Or I haven't really looked into that stuff too much. But as far as the node modules folder being too large, I don't think that really will affect the actual binaries or anything that we build for people to consume, only if you're actively a developer on home games. I also agree I would like to write our own simple thing because Node has the built-in assert library, and at the end of the day it's just writing functions that have assert calls in them. Even if there's a fancy framework around it, there's not much more complexity that we need. But we'll kind of figure that out as we go. I don't know. Have you guys done what do you think about unit testing, JC and Alex, just in general?
Definitely good, but I don't know. I don't really do it a lot for things that I'm just trying to get running, like especially things like this that are very moving fast and just trying to make it work, and you're still subject to a lot of changes. It feels like adding a bunch of tests on while you're still in that phase is kind of baggage in a big way, unless it needs to be very secure from the get-go. Like we're piloting a credit card stealing app or something.
Very secure.
Yeah, we got to be secure.
for us.
Don't want to let anyone else see what we've stolen.
Yeah.
But I think once you have something solid, definitely.
Yeah.
I have very little experience unit testing. Like
Yeah.
I did it for classes, and then for work, not doing it at all.
Did you do TDD, test-driven development in school?
We had one class like that.
Do you think generally that's a useful way to?
I think it helps, just building that skill set.
Yeah.
But like I have no idea what it's like when you're actually trying to produce something.
I think it's like a decent kind of goal, because it's basically you're mingling together tests and what your actual requirements are. So if you're confused or not clear on the requirements, I can make it clear.
Yeah, I agree with what you said, Alex. Like, it's something I think I said in the previous episode, but at the moment, I'm just trying to get something going, something working, and I don't think I have the project management skills to tell myself when it's working enough to start focusing on other things. So I think that'll be a 2020 thing as well, just kind of taking a breath and looking at what we have and trying to make a better decision about where we should go, instead of just kind of leaving it up to whatever I'm feeling that day.
That's how it be in the beginning, though.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there's no real problem for that, I guess. It's just, it's not the way it should be.
Yeah, the definite way it should be is just having defined goals.
If we had unlimited time and we didn't have to do anything, we could just start and test everything before we actually write any code and all that kind of stuff. But that's not the world we're living in. Also for the blog, I I think we need a blog. I think we need some sort of text, something. I was going through yesterday and going and creating a bunch of GitHub issues for just bugs I was creating. You know, I would be doing something. I added I'm calling it charades, but everyone in this room told me that I'm wrong and it needs to be Pictionary. So Pictionary. Yeah, Senovia.
You're wrong as frick, boy.
Yeah. Anyway, Pictionary, charades, whatever it is, I was doing that stuff, and in the process, introduced some new bugs, and so I was creating GitHub issues for those bugs, and I also have a giant PR that I self-reviewed for the dashboard changes, and I just went kind of in-depth with text, specifically commenting on lines and saying, I don't like this because this, we should do this. And I'm really just trying to brain dump the context that I have in my head because I know that no one else can really get it. So I think a blog is useful, and writing down text somewhere is useful. Like we mentioned the previous thing, I don't like Medium. Another reason I don't like Medium is because people are limited, I think, of like how many you can read in a week or something like that.
There's like articles that are set to like, there's like free articles, you can read unlimited many of those, and then there's like weird articles with a star or premium or something, you can only read like 5 of those a week.
And so does the author define if that's free or not?
I don't know. I feel like it's whatever they think will get the most clicks.
Well, we get no clicks, so maybe they'll think we're free.
Well, yeah, it's usually like the not verified or like new accounts type of things are the free ones. But yeah, I still don't like Medium for that reason.
Yeah.
Just make it Tumblr, bro.
I think
Post some hot memes.
Long run, I don't want to do Medium anyway. And so just thinking about the act of migrating off of Medium onto whatever we end up using.
Where do people blog nowadays?
Medium.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's like the thing. I've seen a bunch of tech
But it
companies
kind of
using
sucks.
Medium. Yeah. Maybe that's our spin-off startup. We just read another blog CRM or whatever it is.
Oh
CRM,
my god.
Whatever it is. Senovia, what do you think? Do you think like sort of a non-technical, technical write-up thing of just context and stuff would be useful outside of a podcast?
Yeah, but I don't really see it as a blog.
What would you call it?
I would see it as like a manual.
But it's kind of an ongoing documentation of the work. It's like a diary.
But why would you want that if you're doing the podcast?
It's like you said, so like we've mentioned previously, podcast is good for entertainment. It's good for like, I am into this, and I'll at least from our perspective, me and Yazeed, it's like I'm into this and I'm listening to this from like for entertainment or for whatever, but I'm not trying to learn or really gain value from listening to this, because if I'm trying to figure out how to use these tools, I can't search the text in a podcast. I don't know where they talk about whatever in a podcast. You got Alex talking about whatever, you got talking about Lego sets and whatever. Someone who's trying to find utility in this won't be scrubbing a podcast.
Yeah, then why wouldn't you just do a manual?
Because it changes every week. Because every week we're doing something new.
Why not a living manual? I don't know, just when you say blog, it's like, I don't know, like I'm a white woman, I'm like, I'm going to every pizza shop in the world or whatever.
That's really what we're doing.
That's what it is.
I mean, but so like, it's,
We're her.
Yeah.
This is pizza.
so if that's what that is, then that's fine. It's just that's what I think of, and so I don't really relate it to this, but it can be, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mixture of like a manual and a blog, really, like what you're thinking. It's like
'Cause it's
I
instructional.
made this game and I did it this way because God, I hate doing it this way because the shit sucks.
Yeah.
And then you just start ranting about whatever the hell
Then
you're
start
thinking about.
writing your manifesto.
Yeah.
I think they should be separate though. I mean, maybe in the initial thing, because like Yazeed is currently documenting, I changed this because of this. I'm doing this so it can do this, and that's valuable for him because it's kind of all we have in that form right now. But ideally, we should have a manual how to use these tools.
Yeah.
Do this to do this to do this, for an introduction type thing. But then to have an ongoing sort of more technical documentation. Maybe Yazeed realizes that Mocha sucks and he wants to go write his own testing framework. He can kind of go in depth on the technical stuff in a way that we wouldn't on the podcast, and have it all
That makes
be
sense.
there for someone to read step by step. I ran this command and I wrote down this snippet and I wrote down whatever, which is not something I can easily convey in a podcast. So I think eventually we'll need both. Okay. Well, that was Yazeed's main home game stuff, and then his questions. We'll kind of go around the table and do favorite travel story. Senovia.
Favorite travel story.
I can come back to you later.
Yeah, I don't know.
JC?
Or whoever has one can go.
Yeah.
I don't have one yet.
Mine is cursed, but it is my favorite.
Okay.
This is when we went to Japan. And my friends Jimmy and Fabian went in October of this year. So first off, I hate flying internationally. And I won't say who we've flown with because I think I've smited enough companies so far by name.
Well, why not just add another one? It's an airline.
Yeah.
Everyone hates them.
Just say they're dragging some doctors around. But but yeah, so flying internationally sucks. You can't like sleep at all if you're not in first class for 1%er, like $10,000 ticket area. And we got our tickets for like $600. Like they were round trip Tucson, Tokyo, for $600, which is insane.
Yeah.
Which I guess, of course, we're gonna get put in like the sewer of the plane. But yeah, so we finally, after like 11 hours or whatever, we're like approaching Tokyo, and that's where we're supposed to land in Tokyo, Narita, and then the plane's like doing its descent, and then it just does that. It just stays going in a circle around Tokyo for 20 minutes. Like, okay, they're just waiting for space, and then like after those 20 minutes, it suddenly just like shoots downwards, and like some white lady screams, and then it goes back up, and then it does that again, and it does that like 3 or 4 times. And me, Jimmy, and Fabian are like all having panic attacks, thinking we're gonna die. Like we're like literally holding hands on the plane. It's like, oh my god, why is that lady screaming? You hear someone yell, that's when like the primal fear sets in. And then like, all right, folks, we're actually going to a different city. We're going to Nagoya. And so we end up landing in Nagoya, and they say, this is your final destination. Get out. And Nagoya is like 200 miles away from Tokyo. And so, yeah. So they shoved us off the plane. They gave us an unmarked envelope with $150 in it, equivalent like Japanese yen. And then we're all like out of our minds, like still shaken from almost dying, and then lost in the the Nagoya transit system, like trying to figure out how to use a train for like at like 9 p.m. In the middle of this, we had to wait in like 2 different lines. Like the line to get the unmarked envelope was like an hour and a half. The line to get out of the plane itself was like an hour and a half because we were like in the middle of the runway or something. And then yeah, then we end up.
Why don't you speak Japanese, right?
Huh? I took 101 as an elective, so I like knew basic shit.
Okay.
That's about it. Yeah, we're trying to use Google to figure out how to where to get there. But if like the first time you see it, it's kind of confusing. It's just like a bunch of fucking colors. Like it's like take this route that becomes this line, and then jump off, and immediately in 3 minutes go to this station. And it's like once you get it, it's pretty simple. But like when you're like blasted from being up for 24 hours and all that in a foreign country, carrying around like 30 suitcases, and then we like lost Fabian at one point in Nagoya. And found him just in time to like get on the bullet train. And the bullet train takes 2 hours, gets us to Tokyo, and then we get to Tokyo, and like half the city is flooded from like the remnant of not a hurricane. What's it called? Typhoon. Tsunami. Oh my god. And so we're just like barely awake. Like Jimmy's having a panic attack. Fabian is like wired, and I'm not alive. I'm just like half asleep, falling on my suitcase, and it's like some of the rails are flooded. And then when we were on like getting to one of the last lines we needed, when we were finally in Tokyo, we just straight up see a dead man on the ground, and just in a pool of blood. And it's like,
this is your favorite travel story.
He's not gonna be in Rush Hour 3 is all I'm saying. Like this man is not okay. And then I remember being so tired. I was just like, all I thought was mood. like I was so gone at that point from being up for so long. It was only until I woke up the next day I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
wait, that man was dead. and then we had fun in Japan after when we finally got to our Airbnb at midnight. Well, that's my favorite story because I didn't know traveling could be so terrifying. It was a real learning experience, you know.
Yeah. That's just hitting like regular turbulence for me is terrifying, so I can't imagine
Oh yeah. Although apparently planes don't ever like crash from turbulence, at least. Just remember that next time you're going down.
I would say on that note, our latest road trip where we got lost in the mountains in a national forest. That was
God, I forgot about that.
That was like definitely like the most terrifying like travel thing we've ever done, but also like looking back on it, like the most memorable.
Yeah, it's very memorable. Is that what he said?
Especially because we lived and like we're okay.
Oh, he said favorite. Oh, that was memorable.
I think that is my favorite travel story. I don't think that's my favorite travel
experience.
What
Yeah.
about New York?
New York is my favorite traveling experience for sure. Am I talking about that now? Is this
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. And my favorite travel story was
There's no gun.
like 4 years ago. I went to New York. I had, let me try to think of what happened because it was a long time ago. So there was this thing on Kickstarter, and it was a movie called James White, I believe is what it's called. And it was a Kickstarter for the movie, and basically, if you paid $100, Kid Cudi was in the movie. If you paid $100, you would be invited to the meet and greet at the premiere of the movie in Brooklyn when it happened. And at the time, I had never really been on a big trip like that. I had never been really east of, Texas. So it was kind of a big thing for me to do, and I just decided to back it. And then they were expecting to have it delivered by like March the following year or something like that, but it was delayed. Anyway, it was delayed, and they weren't really good about communicating what was happening and updates and that kind of stuff. And I was kind of getting frustrated. And at a certain point, I started realizing that the movie was made and was coming out. And it just like never got an email from these people, never whatever. And so I complained on Twitter. And it was my old Twitter. I don't even have this account anymore. I just tweeted and was like something about, whoa, this is bullshit, Kickstarter, blah, 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 movie premiere. And they had actually added a second one in LA, an LA movie premiere for the same thing. So when I tweeted that, some guy just by chance was searching on Twitter, because I didn't use any hashtags or whatever. He was just searching for something, and he ended up finding my tweet and sent me a message and was like, I don't know if you know or whatever, but the premiere is like, we just did the LA one, and anyway, I forget what happened, but basically that tweet is what let me learn that the premiere was happening like 2 weeks after when I tweeted through this guy who went to the LA one. And anyway, I forget how I actually got all the information and all that kind of stuff, but I got the date and the place for the premiere, and I had to kind of just drop everything last minute because I was in school at the time. I think the semester had was about to end. It was November. And just kind of dropped everything, and I spent $1,000 on a plane ticket, which like drained all the money that I had at the moment. But it was just like I have to do this. I love Kid Cudi so much. I just wanted to go and have the experience and do that whole thing. So it was the week Fallout 4 came out, I remember. And anyway, played Fallout 4 and then flew to New York by myself on a plane and had to kind of abandon all responsibilities for a few days in the middle of the week. And just went to Brooklyn, and the whole thing was my flight was delayed, and I was staying at some weird little it was like an Airbnb, but it wasn't actually officially Airbnb. Phone battery almost died, almost didn't get to the place, had a super nice cab driver or whatever who made sure that my phone was charged and I was able to get in somewhere because the place I was staying in was not very safe. And anyway, just like that whole experience, the fact that like by chance me complaining on Twitter actually let me have that experience, and because the New York people who were running the meet and greet didn't do a good job of communicating it, 60% of the people who had paid for it didn't go, and they only had a limit of 100, so it was like 30 people at the meet and greet. So Kid Cudi had a lot of time to spend with all of us, and like he actually, I got 2 pictures with him, and he took the selfie himself because the first one I took it and my hand was shaking too much, and I got back in line, and he was super cool about it and all that kind of stuff. But like the moment where I was sitting in the theater with all these other fans or whatever, and then Kid Cudi just fucking walks in the room with a smile on his face, like, hey, what's up? It's like the coolest feeling I've ever had. Like, I love Kid Cudi. So that whole trip was great, and then just being in New York was great, and kind of just experiencing everything, like the big city stuff, and it was a lot of fun. Drinking Bud Light in the middle of the day because I had nothing else to do. It was good. It was a good time.
It sounds like a spontaneous travel trip gone successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had me scared in the first half, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it just barely happened. I mean, like, I don't know why that whole thing happened. I'm fuzzy on the details now because this was 4 years ago. But, yeah.
I should start complaining on Twitter more.
Seriously, it'll get you places.
What the fuck, McDonald's didn't give me my free Big Mac that I'm supposed to get every year.
I don't know if I have a favorite. I'm trying to I can't remember favorites. I only remember like harrowing and horrible things, to be honest. Because when things are going well, it's like it flies by. But when things are horrible, it's like, oh, like the one I can remember that ended up being like a nice trip was going to Thailand with my grandmother and mom. We went to Phoenix, and from the Phoenix airport we were supposed to go to like Tokyo and then transfer to Thailand. But in Phoenix, I guess the person that booked the flights, because my sister talked to a travel agent, which those still exist.
Mm-hmm. The boomers love them.
But they bought tickets for my grandmother who was like wheelchair bound and like didn't speak English very well. They got her a ticket on a separate plane to Tokyo, so we're like, no, we can't have that.
Oh god.
And I remember like on the verge of tears, just running around talking to attendants, being like, please help. And then eventually one did, and we got her on the same flight. And then I remember I had like an insane fever while I was flying. So I was trying to be courteous and I had a face mask on, but like having fever dreams on a plane made the international flight pretty bearable.
Oh god.
Like if I had gone through
that sounds
turbulence,
like free entertainment.
like if I had gone through like turbulence or anything, I would have been like, please do it.
Pull the trigger, Piglet. I'm glad traveling to Japan is harrowing.
Yeah,
for both.
I guess international flights are always just like
they're rough. Good god.
What about your trip to Argentina, Senovia? How was...
It was fine. That was my first like double digit like flight, but it was like a really chill like flight. The only thing that was freaking me out was like I just kept thinking I can't leave. Like I can't get off of this thing. Like that was the only thing, but that's on any flight, and so it was fine.
I'm sure. Once you realize, but so can no one else.
and then you just start farting.
They all suck in here with me. Welcome to my cage.
Do you guys fart on airplanes?
Oh,
Go to the bathroom.
No.
Well, shit your pants in the bathroom.
I
dude.
do. I go to the bathroom. I just want to know if you guys fart on planes, like in your seat.
Generally, no.
The last time we flew, was it here? I was in the middle seat and he was in the window seat, and the guy who was sitting next to me in the aisle seat was like this older guy, but not like super old. And I was just like sitting there, and he kept like putting his jacket like on his lap, but it was touching mine. And so I was just like, wow, this guy's annoying, whatever. And then like eventually it was like all on my lap, the jacket, and I was like, what the heck? And so I looked at him, but he was like pale.
What?
Like, oh, this
Is he dying?
weird. And so I just like grabbed his jacket and I put it on him, but he didn't do anything. So I was like, okay, maybe he's just asleep. And then I think his like friend or his wife, whatever, was sitting in the other aisle seat across from him, and she started like just shaking him, and he wasn't moving. And so then they called the attendant, and she was like, hey sir, like, sir, are you okay? Like shaking him, and he was like passed out, like totally white in the face, super clammy and sweaty.
Oh god.
And so they had to like call for a nurse on the plane. The nurse came over, like they yanked him out of the seat and laid him down and thing. It was like a big thing, and I felt so bad Because I was like, oh, I thought you were a jerk. I didn't know you passed out. I'm sorry.
Is he alive?
They could have been a
He's
jerk
fine.
that passed out.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe
Jerks can pass out.
he just took half a Xan.
Do you think that would help with international flights?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? If I
That's like
had
the whole time.
if I had a Xanax prescription, I would take like 80 of them before I got on any
No,
flight.
don't do that.
That's drug abuse.
That's
Okay,
bad.
I would take one of the prescribed
Yeah.
dosage before I got on. Like, that would help so much.
Take half a Xan, 13 hours till you land.
What would be a bad drug flight?
Like
Meth?
acid.
Yeah, any upper I would not recommend.
Even caffeine isn't great.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee on flights anymore. This shit does not
Yeah,
feel good.
well, I also have to get up to pee a lot, and if I've got the window seat, I'm sorry, I'm like crawling over people.
Yeah. Or just pee in the seat, assert dominance.
Yeah, I bring my thunder jug.
Your thunder jug?
Clearly, you don't listen to the podcast.
Ugh,
No,
I can
it's-
infer.
His next question was favorite Christmas present. I don't have, I guess, I don't have a clear Christmas present. I have very memorable Christmases, and I have some gifts I can think of in my head that I really liked, but I don't think I have one in particular. I just love Christmas.
One of my favorite was my deep fryer.
Yeah.
Actually, like all of my top gifts are like appliances. So like one is my deep fryer, one is my stand mixer.
What is your air fryer?
We got an air fryer this year.
Everyone
so
got
yes.
an air fryer this year. I don't
Pushing
know
them
why.
hard.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
a Ninja Foodie, which is a pressure cooker and air fryer and like an oven or whatever.
That's too many
my
things.
God.
It is so nice.
That scares
It's a
me.
pressure cooker, slow cooker, babysitter.
Dog
Shit's
walker.
good. Yeah, I love my Instant Pot.
Mhm.
That shit's good.
Keep making beans in it.
Make 5 years worth of beans in one go. Eat it all in one night. Mm-mm.
What about you guys?
I'm trying to think. The most memorable one is the Wii. I remember getting the Wii because I remember my mom was like, "You're not getting a Wii," because I was like, just saying like, "I really want this thing.
Yeah.
Really want it." It's like, no, it's expensive. You can't get that. And then I got it. Like, they hooked it up and everything, and they're just like, "Oh, cool." They were already playing it. I was like, nice. I was really happy to jump in because I hate setting up.
That was like 2006, right? That was like the year it came
That
out.
was a baby.
Yeah. I remember because I came over to your house and was like shocked that you had a Wii because no one could get them. They were sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
My mom had it planned out the whole time.
Very
She
nice.
tricked you. That's a classic bamboozle.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
And I was like
giving you shit.
a little baby, and I was like, I'm the smartest thing in the world. How could you trick me?
It's hard for me to remember because I kind of like this is my birthday and Christmas are kind of close. The further away it is, the more I blend the two together and what I got. So I remember when I was a kid, my favorite was like I got like the GTA trilogy pack. It was like
You were a
literally
child?
2006. Yeah, I was like fucking 12 or 11. No, this was 2004. I was like 9 or 10. Yeah.
The perfect age.
Yeah, so I got the trilogy pack. So I'm out here 9 years old, just killing strippers and freaking GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Yeah.
That's when I first played San Andreas too, when I was like 9. That was a real good
It really
kid
opened up
Christmas.
your mind.
Yeah.
By the time you were 13, you were GTA for life on Xbox Live.
Oh, don't make me relive that. That's still my name when I have to like play on the Master Chief Collection. It's like sign in to GTA. Well, no. Well, no, I changed my name.
Isn't it Got Milk?
Oh yeah, it's Got Milk
Oh,
now.
Got Milk.
It's still the same picture of Jackie Chan though. That's why I thought it was. But as like I think older, I think the favorite thing I got was like this like weird card that an old girlfriend made for me. It was like she cut it out in a way that when you open it, it makes like a weird pop out pixel heart thing, and she like spray painted it and everything, and it had like a cute little note attached to. I was
That's
like,
cool.
that was the most wholesome thing I got. My favorite
Yeah.
as a older lad.
Very nice. I think that was it for Yazeed's questions.
I'm glad he made us think about our traumas and then our favorite thing.
Well, it was favorite travel story, but we all just told negative travel
But then he
stories.
asked,
They
what
stand
makes
out.
Christmas so good?
Santa.
Because he was like, I don't celebrate Christmas, I don't really get it. But what makes Christmas like
Got Christ in the name.
I'm gonna have to go with Santa.
Yeah, I would agree with Santa.
I think, yeah, when I was younger, it was the magic of Santa. For me, like, my best Christmas memories are just being excited for midnight and hearing, because, like, my nana would have, because I used to live at my nana's house, we had the lights on the house, and they played music, too. And it was, like, the little, staticky, computery, soundy, musical, whatever, like, classic Christmas songs. And so I'd just fall asleep listening to those songs, like, ready for Christmas the next day. And then it's like, Christmas Eve is the family, and the whole, like, you see everybody, and you have that whole thing, and you say hi to everybody that you might not always see. I don't know. I just think the whole, like...
coming together.
Yeah, the family stuff is the big thing. And
also time off. We get so much time off. If we got as much time off for Halloween as we did for Christmas, I think people would like Halloween more.
I agree.
And I think that should be how it'd be. It should be that.
Yeah.
Give me a week off for Halloween.
Kids have fall break now, right? TUSD does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm old.
Because their summer is shorter.
Right.
Mm.
It's the same amount of days of school. But yeah, anyway.
Oh, I remember I got food poisoning from a tamale on Christmas.
From where?
It's like one of those ladies that sells them.
Like door to door?
Yeah, so that's why I didn't eat tamales again until I was like 20.
Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna happen again.
Yeah, my family makes a tamale, so I'm kind of a elitist dickhead when it comes to every other tamale. It's like, that's not real. You get it from Costco? That's not real.
That's not
Costco
real.
ones are not bad.
They're not bad. They're not great.
Not bad.
Not great.
My boy Kirk doesn't make bad food. Makes some good ass vodka too.
All right, that was it for these questions. Anybody else have anything to add to that stuff?
I'm excited for the next year.
Oh God.
Wait, are we done?
Yeah,
I thought we were done with these questions. I don't know if we're talking about anything else.
I don't have anything else.
A quick top 10 list of something.
Oh yeah, top 10 traumas you endured in the 2010s. Number 10. Go.
It'd be funny if your number 10 was your trip to Japan. It gets worse.
That's at least number 4.
Yeah, I guess we'll wrap up. It's about done.
It's about that time.
I don't know. Home game stuff, like I said, we'll probably go a little bit more in depth on changes that we made next week to kind of summarize what I've been working on over the past couple weeks. I've fixed all the dashboard. Well, not all the dashboard. I fixed the major dashboard bug that I referenced last week with that crazy race condition. I posted it up on my personal Twitter, but the solution there was an extra conditional check in web and app.js. It took me 3 days to find that, but I'm very happy.
Weird.
My code there is not good. I'm doing that fancy like ampersand thing where instead of writing if statements, I just do thing and whatever and function call, which is not a readable way to write code. Anyway, I should probably write better code too.
2020 goal.
My 2020 goals. I would like to make all that stuff cleaner. I also started writing a new version of the kind of structure of Squisher to game session to game, and trying to create a base class of game that every other game extends. But that got messy, and so I kind of abandoned that. So 2020 goals. And then I did another basic early version of, I think I mentioned last week, that Alex wanted to do something with uploading audio and photos and stuff. And I have a version of that where you can upload a photo, but it breaks the photos over 1 megabyte. And I also was thinking this whole time it'd be like a walkie-talkie, but that's actually streaming audio and not storing a chunk of audio and sending it out. So I think I'll be working on some like streaming media kind of stuff and see how that works as well.
Mm-hmm.
And all that kind of stuff. Like I said, I built Pictionary, and I had fun playing that one. Like I played it with my mom, and that's definitely the first time I had fun playing any of these things that we've built, which was kind of a really cool moment for me over this past week. I don't know, just home game stuff is going, but I'll talk about how everything works and all that kind of stuff next week with Yazeed, kind of get us both updated on everything we've been doing. Yeah. Anybody else have anything to add?
Write in, tweet us, Do we have an email?
Yeah, it's on our website.
Yeah, email us your craziest travel story or your favorite Christmas present. We can talk about it.
Talk about why you think Christmas is good.
Yeah, why do you think Christmas is good?
Yeah, or
Let
bad.
us know. Or bad, yeah, you can tell us either one.
You're
Whatever
wrong,
it
but
is.
you're bad. I mean, it's
No,
whatever.
no.
Yeah, you're bad.
You're bad.
You're bad.
Um,
Send us a list of your traumas.
Don't do that.
Yeah, we have emails, so you can email us individually. By us, I mean me, Senovia, and Yazeed. All of our email addresses are listed on the website. I don't think Senovia or Yazeed have ever set up their mail clients, so they can't actually get any emails. But you can email all of us, first name at
Way to
homegames.io.
call us out.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I think they haven't done shit.
And then we also have podcast at homegames.io, which will go to all three of us, which again, it's just me.
Yeah,
So,
do that one.
and then we have a Twitter. So at homegames.io on Twitter, and our subreddit is just homegames, I think.
You gonna make a TikTok?
No.
Dude, that's a good idea.
We won't even make an Instagram, so I don't think we should have a TikTok at all. That's
Kidding, we're 10 years too old for TikTok.
Yeah, my cousin's on TikTok, and that's how I know I'm not like,
You're not welcome.
I'm not with the youth anymore.
Sorry,
When's
Zoomers
the-
only.
When's the Patreon getting made?
We have a Patreon. There's nothing on it.
Give blog post on there.
I don't know. I'll probably just give that to Yazeed and say go for it, because I don't know what to do with our
One
Patreon.
tier, $100. What's the reward? Pictures of Yazeed.
a 10 minute audio call from Yazeed.
Okay, I think that's all.
We'll see you next year.
See you next year. Thank you for listening.
2020 vision.
Smack some ass.
Goodbye.
Please let it be mine.